Nateniël, white boy. Hey folks, welcome back to Chris Wyatt Africa. This is Chris in Tallahassee, Florida, the capital state of Florida, home of Florida State University and Florida A&M University. Well, I told you about this as it unfolded last year. Remember last year when the lockdown grift started in South Africa? What do we have happening? We had government officials sending the South African Police Service and the South African National Defense Force out all over the country. They focused on townships to ensure people were locked down in their hovels without electricity, without running water, without plumbing, without access to goods. And they went out. And in short order, the security services murdered, or at least are responsible for the deaths of a dozen Black South Africans. Now, while the Minister of Police, the gangster-in-chief himself, Bheki Cele, crows about criminalizing the lawful behavior of 230,000 South Africans for sitting on a beach, surfing, nursing their infant, sitting in their own yards. They arrest last year in the early stages of lockdown, 230,000 South Africans, overwhelmingly white and colored, and disproportionately in the Western Cape. Funny how that works. Meanwhile, they go into the townships, and after murdering or being responsible or culpable for the deaths of a dozen Black South Africans, the press castigates them and they retreat. They're no longer in the townships. What happens? Well, naturally, people ignore the lockdown. There's no police or military presence. Not that I'm advocating for it, but they're just gone. And so what happens? The virus mutates, and South Africa has its own variant as a consequence of this. Well, those murdered South Africans are just one example of the complete disdain that the ruling African National Congress has for its own citizens. Folks, Kenako outside Africa. The time is now. The time is now. It is time. It is time. November 1st is rapidly approaching. Just 25 days away, 26 days. An opportunity for South Africans to give the ANC a clear message and diminish them to the lowest possible total in municipal elections across the country and remove them from governance in all the municipalities where it's possible. You can do this by voting for an opposition party that's not the Economic Freedom Fighters or the ruling ANC. In any metro where your opposition party has a legitimate chance of getting an outright majority, vote for them. Even if you don't like them, give them a chance. The key is to defeat the ANC, not to squabble and whine about the DA, the IFP, the UDM, the Freedom Front Plus, Action SA, UIM. Stop the squabbling and vote for someone who has a realistic chance of winning a majority. That's the key. So let's just talk about a court case that's not getting much attention right now. This is another example of the complete, utter lack of respect and value of life that the ANC has again for South Africans. And this, of course, are Black South Africans. So a lot of Black South Africans seem to think that the ANC is the party of liberation. That's fiction. They played a role in the liberation struggle. They are not the party of liberation. They are the party of greed, self-aggrandizement, and pilfering. That's what they are, the party of. It's our turn to take a phrase from Mikel Arong. The killing of Nateniël Julius in Eldorado Park in 2020 was when police were a law unto themselves. Constable Mandla Dumisani Sito told the Gauteng High Court in Palm Ridge that Sergeant Simon Scorpion Indiavane and his co-accused Constable Kayleen Whiteboy applied force when dealing with residents at Eldorado Park. During the lockdown, this is a quote from Sitole in the testimony, during the lockdown, Indiavale would open fire on groups of people not wearing masks. I remember Whiteboy forcing people to perform push-ups and frog jumps. Excuse me? Shooting at people who weren't wearing masks? What legal justification is that? This is South Africa's police. This is what they're doing. Now, before people think we're disparaging all law enforcement officials, we're not. But let's be honest. We know that there are severe systemic problems with the South African Police Service, not the least of which is the continual appointment of corrupt political cronies, including criminals like Jackie Salibe, to head the police in South Africa. It's a disaster. Now, Sitole said on the night that Nateniël Julius was killed in August of 2020, he saw Indiavale carrying shotgun ammunition that he'd never seen before. Jules was allegedly killed with shotgun ammunition, which police are prohibited from using. So why was he using shotgun ammunition? And why are they shooting at people because they're not wearing masks? Indiavale, Netchiragongolo, and Whiteboy have pled not guilty to killing Nateniël Jules, 16 years of age, shot outside his home in Eldorado Park in August of 2020 by Black police officers from a ruling Black political party murdering a Black young man, a teenager. Wake up, South Africa. You idiots that think that the ANC cares about Black people, you're deluding yourself. They don't care about Black people. They care about cadres and their political patronage puppies. That's all they care about. It's their turn to eat, and they don't care. Just this week, watching the vile anti-Semitism and racism from Dali and Pofa's questions and Malema's questions and insinuations in the Judicial Service Commission hearings for the 2 appointments to the Constitutional Court, in which it was just a virtue signaling, empty exercise, in which they had no intent of ever bringing Unterhalter or Alan Dodson onto the bench. They simply brought them there for window dressing. This is the ANC, the party that crows about their gender equality because they have about 42% of their members of parliament are women. How many of them are actually qualified? And what exactly have they done about changing the culture of gender-based violence in South Africa? Rapes, sexual assault, murders, gang rapes. Nothing. Nothing. The only time they take action is when Cyril Ramaphosa wants to distract from some other ANC failure. Riots in KwaZulu-Natal. Let me talk about gender-based violence. How about people being murdered in the streets of Pietermaritzburg? How about people being assaulted in Wien? How about Phoenix? How about informal settlements attacked by thugs with sticks attacking innocent Black people for no reason? What about Black people attacking Indian communities for no reason? Where were you, Cyril Ramaphosa? Well, it's time to talk about gender-based violence. Folks, it's a grift. It's a total grift. If you don't know this, if you don't see this, you're blind or you're not paying attention, or you're just disingenuous. I appreciate that some people look to the ANC and its proud heritage going back to 1912 and look at a party that was focused on bringing true and genuine democracy and freedom and liberty to all South Africans. But those days are long gone. They were gone in 1979 when these ghouls went to North Vietnam to learn their craft on how to kill people and how to make a country ungovernable. That's when it all ended. They're frauds. They're total frauds. They're grifters. They're just there for their own profit. All about them. Where's the $5.6 billion from the African Development Bank, the new BRICS Bank, and the International Monetary Fund? $5.6 billion, July and August of 2020. Where's that money at? I don't know. Do you know? I'm not accusing them of misspending it, but there's no transparency. Where did that money go? Folks, cannot go. It's time. It's time to send the ANC packing. This party, all things being equal, should be fortunate to collect 35% of the votes nationwide during these local elections. That's what should happen. The ANC will definitely drop below 50% in this election and not be the majority nationwide. There'll be a plurality, possibly, but they won't be the majority. They only got 53% of the vote in 2016. Things are demonstrably worse now. No cooked chicken, no open-toed shoes, no e-commerce, no jobs, no hope. Racialization of the Tourist Relief Fund. This party is beyond a joke. ZANU-PF is starting to look like an attractive alternative to these clown cars. Wow. Anyway, folks, if you're not a subscriber to Chris Wyatt Africa, take a moment, hit that button right there. Look at this. I'm giving you analytical updates and analysis of news and events, even while I'm on the road. Thanks for your support. God bless and have a lovely day. Cheers, everybody. Appreciate it.